Welcome to Protect and Grow with Chicagoland certified financial planner Tim Stearns of TJ Stearns Incorporated. Trust, respect, and results. TJ Stearns Incorporated focuses on comprehensive financial planning and benefits.
And welcome into the program. This is Protect and Grow Chicagoland Retirement with Chicagoland certified financial planning professional Tim Stearns, CFP, founder of TJ Stearns Inc. It is your resource, ladies and gentlemen, for a common sense approach to planning. Information about your financial, your investment, and your retirement future found here on the program each and every week, as well as on the website, tjstearns.com. And of course, by reaching out to your resource, Tim Stearns CFP, for the opportunity to get your Protect and Grow plan put together. 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Office conveniently located in Arlington Heights. Classes held throughout the Chicagoland area and across the nation for proactive planners to become more informed. And Tim, we are talking about a resource that you have available today, the 8 Moments to Move Your Money. These are critical times and opportunities where we can make better use of our dollars, our hard-earned life savings.
Well, Peter, last year was kind of a wake-up call, and so I think this 8 moments to move your money is really a good timing to talk about. We just got done with tax season, right? So now we need to move on to taking care of our portfolio. And a lot of people had losses last year. It's the worst year ever for a 60-40 in a portfolio, 60% in stocks, 40% in bonds. It's the worst ever. So I would think that people are going to listen up here, and 8 moments to move your money is what it's all about.
And Tim, a lot of these are overlooked. We have the opportunity to do it, to make better use of those dollars, and maybe we just don't identify the right opportunities, or it's not brought to our attention. If we miss some of these critical opportunities along the way during our path, or even, on the cusp of retirement or already into retirement, it can make a difference in our outcome. And all of these do not involve wholehearted shifts of strategy. In fact, a lot of these money movements, as you call it, are right within the existing accounts.
Right. The first one we'll talk about then is rebalancing. What I saw a lot of is we had a 13-year bull market, so you had a lot of people, are way too centric with stocks. They meant to have maybe a little bit of a half and half, depending if they're where they are at as baby boomers. And the stocks have eaten up where the bonds were because the bonds were losing. So the next step there would be to rebalance. The easy, quick way to get away from that is to actually have a target date fund where it's always rebalancing for you, which is nice. But if you're a do-it-yourselfer out there, or you just have a portfolio that you're trying to help yourself out with, rebalancing is key right now, especially with the market being kind of going in fits and starts and that type of thing.
Tim, is the lack of rebalancing, kind of overlooking this important money movement, is that one of the reasons why people had too much risk and therefore maybe lost more than they were comfortable with in the downturn in 2022?
The quick answer is someone fell asleep at the switch, right? So stocks got too big and they went down worse than bonds. Bonds were down 13%, okay? And the stock indexes were anywhere from down 18% for the S&P 500 or all the way up to 32% for the NASDAQ. So rebalancing is clutch right here. Make sure that you have a good balance and know what's in your portfolio. I always try to explain that to people in class. Know what's baked into your investments, the fees, the risk, the performance. Those are clutch.
Well, again, if you need help in identifying opportunities, critical moments to move your money, some of the current accounts may be out of alignment and you just need a slight realignment, or they may be heading in the wrong direction completely. We'll talk about several of these critical key moments to move your money on today's program. But rebalancing along the way, one of the fundamental principles of long-term financial success that will keep you heading in the right direction. And again, if you need help identifying, pick up the phone, give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256 to speak with a certified financial planning professional, Tim Stearns, CFP, and the team at TJ Stearns Inc. As I said that, Tim, I sort of envisioned driving a car that was out of alignment. It takes a little work. First, you want to go into the shop and get that taken care of long term. But when you're noticing it, you have to do a little work to keep the car from running off the road and into the ditch. And if you took your hands off the wheel for long enough, that's exactly where you would end up, in the ditch off the side of the road. We don't want that with our portfolio, nor at any point in our lives.
Well, we call that, rethinking, right? Where you're off base there, you faded into an area that you don't want to be in, which is too much stock, right? Or, a lot of these people, the problem is that they don't have stop losses, which is hard to have in a 401k, right? So that brings me to the next idea that's on this 8 moments to move your money. If you are over age 59 and a half, most companies allow you to do an in-service distribution. It's such a great opportunity to take command of your own future. Most of us work for companies and we're beholden to what they have, but the Department of Labor has put out a loophole there that you can be 59 and a half and older, you're able to take the money out. So this is how that works. If, let's say I had $100,000 that's vested in my portfolio, I'm able to move that money into an IRA that then I could put stop losses on. I open my world to every investment that's out there. It's definitely something worth asking about. If they don't allow that, then I'd look at the target date funds. But the first one I would look for if I'm over 59 and a half is to do an in-service distribution. And the 59 and a half loophole is, a lot of people don't know about it. It's very powerful.
And again, this is an opportunity, Tim, that is often overlooked. Maybe we just have not been told about this. It's not been widely discussed as often as it should be because, Tim, a lot of times the 401k, the vehicle that allowed us to build and grow while we were earning the paycheck, is not necessarily, for any number of reasons, the optimal vehicle to be in during our retirement years.
Well, I mean, the thing is with mutual funds, the 93% of the money managers don't even outperform the index. So why not look out there for the 7% that do? If you work in the institutional arena like we do, there are a lot of great money managers out there. And that's why, we try to work with only people that have over $500,000 in assets, because we want to position them correctly in the right companies that might have a stop loss on them. I think stop losses at this time in someone's career, as they're either winding it down or they're newly into retirement, that is absolutely huge. The other opportunity that I'm seeing out there is that people took losses last year. Maybe this is a good time to do a Roth conversion. 8 moments to move your money. How about moving it into a Roth? So the 59 and a half loophole goes part and parcel with that, right? Because I can take the 59 and a half money out, put it into an IRA, and then maybe look at a Roth conversion. We have 2023, 2024, and 2025 at the current tax brackets, right? We know what they are. They're going to expire at the end of 2025. So it's an opportunity out there that we talk to a lot of people about, is the 59 and a half. And if you took losses last year, how about looking at a Roth conversion?
Tim, because paying the same bill in taxes when the market and our account value is down represents converting over a larger percentage of our total retirement assets, right? That's the silver lining here. That's the math. Nobody likes to see the market or their account value down, but there's a price tag on converting, and if we can afford to do so, now we get to convert over a larger percentage and get it out of the crosshairs of the IRS.
Exactly. So, I mean, what I'm talking about doing is moving that over into an IRA. So, you can know what your taxes are if you do go to do a Roth conversion. I'm not telling anyone to move all of their money into a Roth and pay. I mean, that's a difficult situation, but you have to look at what the taxes will be, mitigate those and figure out what they are. And maybe you kind of nibble on that tax bill, because remember, the IRS wants their pound of flesh. So you need to make sure that when you're doing a Roth conversion, that you know what the price tag is going to be. We have a CPA here. What that does is that helps us with figuring out what that tax bill is, if it's a smart idea or not. Which leads me to another point of the 8 moments to move your money. If you've left a job, I just worked with a gentleman the other day who had he had left his job and they had left another job, and he had 2 401ks that basically were floundering. He hadn't looked at them. He was at his new job, and so we helped him move his money out. And the billboards around Chicagoland used to say, "You're not at your old job. Why is your 401k?" Mm-hmm. I completely agree with that, because why not open up your world to better money managers that are active, money managers that have stop losses. That's what we do here.
Well, Tim, if we have ignored those dollars, forgotten about those dollars, how can we be certain that those dollars that we worked so hard for are doing their job, doing the hardest work that they can possible to help us to prepare for retirement? I mean, Tim, retirement is long, it is in the future, it is expensive as it is, and it's only getting more expensive every day. We need each and every dollar that we have to work the hardest it can and to be doing the right job to make that retirement outlook as optimistic as possible, correct?
Right. When I heard that he had taken a new job, I said, we need to get together and look at your old 401k. Little did I know he had yet another 401k that had, he had opened it when he was in his 20s. It was doing something completely different than what he wanted it to do. So put eyes on your assets and give us a call, and we can help you move them into an IRA that you can be in charge of, that, will give it the opportunity to at least be managed correctly.
These all tie together, ladies and gentlemen. There are reasons that each and every one of the items on this report, the 8 moments to move your money, are important, and you need to know when and which are applicable to you and your situation. Now, if you would like this list to kind of review on your own time, or if you would like the help of a team of professionals, the team at TJ Stearns and a certified financial planning professional, Tim Stearns, CFP, to look over your portfolio, your plan, your Protect and Grow retirement income plan, pick up the phone and give a call. Tim Stearns, his team will put that together for you. No cost, no obligation for those who have at least $500,000 saved for retirement. This offer is a no cost, no obligation opportunity for you to get your plan in place, or to better, more appropriately, position your dollars, your accounts to help you achieve your future goals. 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. And Tim, they do kind of go hand in hand here as well on the list. We talked about number 1, rebalancing. That is just something that gets overlooked within an existing account. But a lot of times that's the 401k, right? It's out of sight, out of mind. It's on autopilot. So much so that we forget to do the routine maintenance that is necessary to make the most of those dollars and to keep risk-appropriate rebalancing. And then the end result of being that out of sight, out of mind is we might even leave it behind with that orphan 401k when we leave a job or turn 59 and a half.
Right. And how about this? What are you paying for your 401k? No one knows that. They'll say, oh, the funds are real cheap. So my next topic is fees are too high. How do you know what you're paying? Do you actually take the time to go look at what you're paying within your 401k? I read a study from the Center of American Progress. And what they said is that the average 401k participant's paying over 2% when you come into the fact that they have all these layers of fees in there. So why not get an analysis of what your 401k is charging you, or what you currently have? We had a gentleman the other day that came in here. He was charged 1% by the advisor, and then he had mutual funds underlying there, and he was up and over 2.25%. And I looked, and in the last quarter, there had been no trades done, just dividend reinvestment. So what are you getting? You're getting reverse churned, we call that, where there's no trading going on. There's no money management going on. And then getting back to your original thought, yeah, what is your 401k charging you? You have no clue. So are your fees too high? Let's take a look at that. Take a deep dive to see what you're paying and what you're getting for that.
And not just in your 401k, by the way, either, Tim. I mean,
Absolutely.
Many accounts have different costs associated with them, and very often those are kind of obfuscated or hidden beneath the surface, or people not fully aware of the cost of their money management, the investments inside their portfolio, the institutional cost, or the cost of the advice that they're receiving.
Or the lack of advice they're receiving, right? I always ask in class, last year was a rough year, 2022, right? Did your mutual fund company that is your provider for your 401k help you out, give you a call and tell you what to do? They all laugh, right? Then I say, did your HR department tell you that maybe you have too much risk in your department, in your portfolio? And they laugh at that too, because no one's going to touch that hot potato, right? And then you have laziness as well. So no one wants the liability and you have laziness. So are you underperforming? That is my next step, right? You're looking at your portfolio. Are you doing better than the Joneses? Great. Stay where you're at. But do you know that? And I really find it interesting when people come in to see us and we take a look at their portfolio and they're underperforming. They're paying fees that they didn't realize and they're not being taken care of. This industry really is all about service. So if you're underperforming, your fees are too high, then, and you're not talking to anybody over there and you're just a name to those people, give us a call and we'll actually analyze and see kind of where you performed last year. Because I know that you can outperform the index. You just have to have the right funds.
Tim, how common is this in the number of people that you see and talk to that come into your classes or come into the office for that complimentary review at TJ Stearns?
We have a lot of people come in, especially from our classes. And then, of course, they get to learn what is out there, what the ingredients are on their portfolio. Then they want to know, hey, can I come talk to you? And obviously the radio show, we've had people call in all the time that they have no idea what they're paying. It's buyer beware out there. So why not have someone look at it? We don't charge for our time. And if it's, that you're not paying a lot and you're having great performance and great service, then more power to you. But I usually find about 90% of the people that come to see us really aren't happy with what's going on in the market, with their money manager, and what they're paying.
Again, if that may be you, if that you share that concern, pick up the phone, give Tim Stearns, CFP, Certified Financial Planning Professional, and TJ Stearns, Inc. a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. You can go to the website as well, tjstearns.com. That's Stearns like Earns, tjstearns.com. Hit the connect with us button and be in touch, or sign up for one of the upcoming courses. There are plenty of learning opportunities for you, ladies and gentlemen, and Tim and the team from TJ Stearns make those available in and around the Chicagoland, and is in fact all across the nation, but many opportunities here in the Chicagoland area at various locations to be as convenient as possible. If you are within earshot of this program, there's an upcoming course located near you, or you can even watch those virtually. You can meet with Tim virtually as well for the ease and the convenience factor if you'd like to start that way. Our office in Arlington Heights, but easy to meet wherever you are at in the country and certainly across the Chicagoland area. Just start that conversation by picking up the phone and giving a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. And once again, if you've got at least $500,000 saved for your financial future, for your retirement, and you are serious about planning for your future, Tim does offer to put together for you, no cost, no obligation, the written plan, the Protect and Grow plan for your financial future, for your retirement income. 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. We have seen similar plans go upwards of $1,000 to several thousands of dollars, but Tim makes that available for listeners to this program who have at least $500,000 saved for retirement. No cost, no obligation. Just be one of the first 10 callers to the program for that Protect and Grow plan. 800-640-2256. 800-640-2256. Tim, this is another one that it does sort of tie in with the first one of rebalancing, but we've actually seen this one in a different way. And unfortunately, many unexpected ways over the last 3 years, but your time horizon has changed. Tim,
Yep.
It was the great resignation during COVID, and then it was the great layoffs. Unfortunately, a lot of people got furloughed, and their timeline for their financial progress changed significantly, and your plan and your investments need to reflect that.
Well, I mean, what we've seen people doing is either they quiet quit, that's a new term that came out, or they got RIFed, reduction in force. That happened to one of my siblings. So that being said, you need to look at what is your time horizon. Do you want to go back into the workforce? What I found is a lot of people were like, the heck with it. I don't want to even deal with it anymore. My one sibling, he stayed, retired. He had opportunities, but he'd had enough of the work. So when you're doing an income allocation plan for somebody like that, the great news is that it's dynamic. So we can move the numbers around, move them up, move them back, what other people want. We've seen people quit, and we've also seen people go back into the workforce when they see what inflation's doing. So the income allocation plan is always dynamic. We can move it up or back, depending on what the people want. But unfortunately, a lot of times they don't have a choice. So if your time horizon has changed, give us a call. We'll do a plan for you and kind of figure out, can you stay retired or do you want to still work? And we can figure those numbers out. But what we do is we lowball on what the amount of assets are, and then we make the amount of expenses higher, just to make sure that we're making a conservative income allocation plan and to see if the people can stay retired. And I'll tell you, a lot of people are very happy once they come to see us and they figure it out, that they have a plan and that they can stay retired.
Kind of going conservative on both ends of that spectrum then, Tim.
Absolutely. Yes.
Well, again, if you would like that plan, kind of looking at Murphy's Law and underestimating where traditionally retirement plans have overshot and been too optimistic. If you want a realistic or even conservative kind of outlook for what your financial future looks like, that's putting the plan in writing. That's the protect and grow plan. That's the approach there at TJ Stearns with Tim Stearns CFP. And a lot of people find value in that and find additional confidence if they have shot the plan and troubleshooted it and made sure that it still survives. That is going to result in more lifestyle confidence in real life moving forward into and throughout retirement. Pick up the phone and give a call, 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256, 800-640-2256. Going back on one of these moments, Tim, and again, we are reviewing the report, 8 moments to move your money. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like this full report to go over on your own time, if you would like to discuss and make sure that you have not had any of these applying to your situation and overlooked the opportunity, but rebalancing, Roth conversions, age 59 and a half, leaving a job, fees are too high, underperforming, Tim, is the one I wanted to go back to. You mentioned outperforming the market. That actually can happen on the good side and the bad side, right? There's a lot of people that underperform in good times and overperform in bad times. A lot of people lost more money than the market in 2022.
Right. I was talking to a gentleman who I had do some work at our house. He runs a company, and he was talking about how his broker actually lost him 40% last year. And I said, how the heck did that happen? And he explained to me that they went into the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ went down. They doubled down. The advisor bought more, right? And then once it went down again, he just sold them out and they went into cash. And so he took a 40% hit, and obviously this year he would have been okay if he had just kind of held it to his guns, right? But you have people who don't know what they're doing money management. That's why we use institutional money managers. We're not a shop here that tries to pick the hottest stock. I don't believe in that. We are a certified financial planning professional. We have our agenda is to help people get retired and stay retired. So we leave that to the experts. Same goes for someone doing their taxes. We have a CPA, someone doing estate planning. We have a lawyer. We are here to help people. We can do from soup to nuts, as they say. But our concentration is getting people retired and making them able to stay retired.
Well, number 8 on the list here, wrapping it all up. And that's exactly what this moment to move your money is all about. Consolidating accounts, getting everything nice and neatly packaged up so that, Tim, I know that there's a number of advantages, but a little house cleaning can make things a whole lot simpler and easier to track in retirement, right?
Well, I mean, it's interesting to me is that people have other accounts out there and they're paying fees on different accounts. Oh, I have this little IRA. I started, I never funded it, besides the first time, well, every one of those accounts, has fees in them, right? And let's talk about the craziness that if you pass away, how is your family going to know that you had that one outlier out there? They're going to go to the state of Illinois and claim your property. Come on. So you want to make sure that you consolidate things and make it so that it's easy for people to figure out if, God forbid, something happens to you or your spouse, that they know exactly where the assets are. Plus, let's cut down on fees. No one likes paying fees for something that you're not receiving. That's just stupid. So make sure that you want to make the effort to consolidate accounts, and we'll help you track down assets. That's not an issue. We know how to do that. And you don't have to lift a finger. Just give me a statement. We'll move the money for you. But at the end of the day, let's get it consolidated so you're not paying more than you should be.
And Tim, the conversation that we had about this one, oftentimes consolidating accounts actually improves our diversification. A lot of people may, on a surface level, think that that is not the case. But consolidation, cleaning these accounts up and bringing them into a more structured format actually serves to improve our diversification in our portfolio.
And to that point, I talk about it in class to make sure that your ORs are going in the same way, right? Because if you have an account out there that's doing just the opposite of what another account is, you have your ORs going different, they're not in sync.
I went whitewater rafting and my tour guide called that the crazy turtle.
Well said. I agree with that. Don't be a crazy turtle. Make sure that your portfolio is doing exactly what you want it to do so that you don't have an outlier out there that's doing the exact opposite of that. So don't be a crazy turtle. I agree with that.
Well, Tim, always a pleasure having you here as our guide, helping us through the white waters of retirement. It seems crazier than ever, and most people just want a nice, smooth ride. And that's why we have to take advantage of each and every opportunity that we have to control these variables. And this report of the 8 moments to move your money, ladies and gentlemen, can identify several of those opportunities. So if you'd like to receive this report, go over it on your own time, or if you would like to sit down with a certified financial planning professional, Tim Stearns, CFP, and the team there at TJ Stearns Inc. Pick up the phone, get that Protect and Grow plan put together in writing and in your hands. 800-640-2256. That's 800-640-2256. Tim, always a pleasure, and we appreciate the time here on the program.
Thanks, Peter.
Tune into Chicagoland certified financial planner Tim Stearns' full radio program and visit tjstearns.com for many valuable resources, including other great episodes of Chicagoland Retirement. Be sure to subscribe.
Securities offered through TJ Stearns, a registered representative of Crown Capital Securities LP, member FINRA SIPC. The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature, not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs.